Chris, what's it like to be here and wearing that uniform and being in this situation?
It's a great feeling. Obviously, it's been a busy summer ever since the trade happened and everything like that, getting acclimated. But I'm happy that we finally get to start the real thing tomorrow.
You spent a great deal of time with James and your new teammates
Yeah.
working this summer. How much has that helped you guys?
I think it's helped a lot. It's been a lot of fun too, building that chemistry, getting that real time, so that we talked about it. It'd probably be a little tough if tomorrow, first day of practice, we just dapped each other up and was like, "Yo, what up? Let's let's hoop." But I think we've had an opportunity to spend like some real time. We still got a lot of work to do, a lot of stuff to figure out or whatnot, but it's cool.
Did you guys spend so much time together? Are you even more antsy to actually play a game together?
Yeah, and we did a lot of traveling, playing, pickup games here and there and stuff like that. So you are antsy to actually get out there with the full crew and see what it looked like.
Chris, Mike, talk to us about when you have players that are as accomplished as you are and James are in particular, and you're willing to make changes or sacrifices for the good of the team, that changes everything. How is that dynamic going to play out as the year progresses, and how does that change things when you're willing to, quote-unquote, sacrifice?
Yeah, I think we sort of talked about it at the initial press conference, in that one of the best things about this transition, or trade transition, whatever you want to call it, has been the communication aspect of it. We talk about just about everything so that it doesn't get to a point to where it's out of control. We communicate and we talk. So coach has been great in little things. Like I can't put my finger on one thing, but we talked about a lot of different things, like 2-for-1s at the end of the shot clock, all that different type stuff. So he's been a great communicator, and I think as long as we do that, everything will be fine.
Chris,
Chris,
you had go ahead.
one of the biggest stories, obviously, this weekend in sports has been all the NFL protests, the president's remarks, the Golden State Warriors. Can you just kind of give your thoughts about when you see it and how this team is going to respond, or you guys talk about it?
How our team is going to respond. I think the thing about our team, and it goes back to that communication aspect of it, whatever we decide to do as a team, we'll do it as a team. It's not about any one individual, so whatever we do, we'll do it as a team.
What do you say to people who think athletes should just quote-unquote stick to sports?
What do I say to people who think that? Nobody said that to me, like personally, but I mean, I'm not just a basketball player, and I don't think guys are just athletes. Like at the end of the day, when I leave here and take off my jersey and my uniform, when I get in the car, I'm dad, I'm a wife. I'm a husband. I'm tripping. I was about to say I have a wife. I have a wife. I have kids. I'm a son to my parents. You know what I mean? So I'm a lot more than an athlete. So yeah, that's that.
Chris, our first chance to talk to you, you had some specific things to say on Twitter about, in response to, I guess, to what Trump said. Could you reiterate some of those thoughts, feelings?
I said what I said, and just my feelings are, different people choose different ways to express themselves, however that may be. Whatever that is, when you have kids and you're supposed to be our leader, my kids shouldn't have to be looking at television, seeing the leader saying the things that he was saying. So for me, that was that, and
As president of the Players Association, would you like there to be conversation as a union on the response, or have you even begun to initiate any of that kind of talk about what the union as a whole might do?
Not yet, but keep you posted.
Chris, Mike also talked to us about looking at where this team can be offensively, but understanding defensively is the area for the biggest amount of improvement. Getting with these guys, do you sense that this group is willing to do the things defensively that it will take to win an NBA title?
One thing that I know is that the guys in our locker room are willing to do whatever it takes. And the guys that we've added, myself along with PJ Tucker, along with Luke, those guys are defensive minded. But it's going to be a process. All season long, we're going to use camp to build our principles and communicate and talk, because everything is not going to be great. You know, right now it's cool to say, oh, this is great, but the real test of a team and people, we always say, is what? In adversity. So that's going to be our real test, is when we do lose a game that we thought we should have won, or, you know, hopefully we don't lose back-to-back games. But when that stuff happens, that's going to be the real test of our team. So, you know, it's going to be a process.
Chris, last year, after Kaepernick protested and the NFL started doing that stuff, I think the NBA discussed, you know, how would they handle, NBPA, sorry, discussed how would they handle that. And a year later, you know, Trump comes out and says, well, if you kneel or protest during the anthem, someone should be suspended or, you know, fired from their job. What was it like to hear that a year removed from the initial start of all that?
A lot has happened since then, but one thing that I'll just reiterate, you know, I think our league, along with the Players Association, we're all about inclusion, you know, and giving guys an opportunity to express themselves however that may be. So, yeah, same thing then, same thing now.
Chris, Daryl Morey began by saying this is the best team they've been associated with.
Wow,
His team
Daryl. Daryl don't hold nothing back, do it?
And he said that this team has a real shot. You've done just about everything there is to do in this league except that. You have a
Right.
chance to check that box. What does that mean to you?
Means everything. You know, if I was fine with anything else, I probably would have just stayed, you know, where I was. Like, I'll just keep playing. It is what it is. But I came here with one purpose, one goal in mind, and that's to win a championship. And the cool part is being here with a guy like James, who has that same, those same aspirations. And then another guy like Coach. You know what I mean? Coach has done everything in this league. You know what I mean? And I know how bad he wants to win a championship, and I feel like he absolutely deserves it. But you don't get championships just because you deserve it, and just because you show up, you don't get it. And it takes work, and I think that's what we're going to do.
To go back to your earlier point about the process, is it made easier with all these veterans being added to this group? It's not like any young players that you have to kind of bring along. A lot of veterans who've been in this league for a long time.
Yeah, I think it helps. I think it helps having vets, guys that know what it takes. We got some hard workers, you know, and Trevor Ariza is one of the hardest workers. Trevor's kind of like soft-spoken, doesn't say much. I think sometimes a lot overlooked, you know what I mean? Then we got Ryan Anderson. We got a young guy in Clint who just plays hard and plays the right way. And those guys on a given night are going to have a lot to do with us winning games, just like Eric Gordon. I think a lot of people, they forget the EG is here and stuff like that. And that's how we want our team to be, is just to be selfless and do whatever we have to do to pile up wins.
Chris, I think, if I'm not mistaken, you were in New Orleans with the aftermath of Katrina.
Yeah.
And then you come here to Houston, it's Harvey.
Right, I had a 7-year-old girl at a Boys and Girls Club tell me I was bad luck. Right, yeah.
What's that experience been like for you?
You know, man, it's tough. It's tough. You know, I was drafted a month and a half before Katrina hit, and then traded here right before Harvey. And I think the toughest part is, you know, you see people lose everything, you know, and, you know, even seeing some of the families who moved from New Orleans, relocated to Houston, and then have to start all over again. I think it puts things into perspective. But James, the guys on the team, we've talked about it, and, you know, these are our fans, like the people here in Houston. These are the people who make us go, who cheer for us night in and night out. And they're not just fans to us, we become a family. And in times like this, you gotta try to come together as much as possible. But what we also talked about is, you know, during the devastation, it's on television day in and day out. And then it becomes out of sight, out of mind. But for us, that's not the case, because we live here and we're part of this community, and we gotta continue to, you know, make sure that the city comes back stronger than ever.
Chris, what have you learned about James in the time that you spent together?
What have I learned about him? Somebody asked me that a little while ago. I said that he likes French fries just as much as I do, first and foremost. But, man, how much he loves to hoop. You know, like, you got some guys who like and enjoy to play basketball, but then you got some who love it, and he's one of the guys that loves it, and he's damn good. And I think the thing that gets overlooked, I think, with James a lot of times is how selfless he is, you know, and how much he loves people. He loves people to be around him, and he wants to see other people succeed and other people do good, and he has a big heart. You know what I mean? So I think that's what's been cool about getting to know him even better than I did already.
Chris, you mentioned that the sole reason you came here was to obviously pursue a championship. When did you decide that that was the best move for your career, to move on from LA, and why Houston as opposed to any of the other
I'm not
options?
sure when it was that became the decision, but we figured it out, myself along with, you know, my previous team and stuff like that. But being here has been great. You know, those last 6 years were unbelievable, and I'm extremely grateful for everybody that made that happen. But from the first day, the organization, whether it be Daryl, whether it be Tad, Mr. Leslie before, you know, he decided to sell the team, everyone just welcomed not only me but my family with open arms. And I'm grateful for the situation that I'm in. But at the end of the day, basketball is what we do. So all of that has been good. It's been a lot of great hugs, smiles, and handshakes. But now it's time to hoop.
How was
That
that
owner
ownership?
you found out about Mike D'Antoni that you didn't know, now that you got a chance to know it?
What have I found out about him now that I didn't? I don't know, because, I mean, it ain't like I've had a practice with him or played a game or whatnot. I knew a lot already. You know, his son went to Wake Forest, go Deeks, right? And his wife, I'd actually met her also, too, throughout the USA team experience. But selfless guy. I'm sure there's going to be times where he's going to have to get on me and stuff like that. But his communication and one of the things that I've learned about him already, which I love about people, he doesn't take himself too serious, you know, and I think that's going to bode well for our team.
Chris, you've been involved earlier in your career at different times in so many different trade rumors, and it's obviously always out of your guys' hands. But with Carmelo and the Rockets, there was talk all summer. Did you think at one point he would be on this team, or how close did you feel like that came to actually happen?
I didn't know, but as far as Melo being, you know, so close to me like a brother or whatnot, at the end of the day, it was ultimately about his happiness, you know, and I don't have to speak for Melo or anything like that, but just know that I'm happy for him, you know, with everything that was swirling, all the different things that said here and there. When the trade happened for him to move on, I talked to him, and I couldn't be happier for him because I know what his goals are and what he'd like to do.
And then, you know, the West, it never seems to take us a step back. Obviously, you have Golden State and, you know, Durant. Melo goes to OKC with Russell Westbrook and Paul George. You and James are here. How loaded, how tough is it to get to the top in this conference?
I've been in the Western Conference my whole career. It's been crazy. Like, I'm trying to figure out when it was ever weak. Like, everybody keep talking about it like something just changed. I remember, I think it was 07, 08, even Houston won like 21, 22 games in a row and might have moved up like one spot. You know what I mean? So the West has been like that. But the cool thing about everything going on this summer is ever since the trade happened here, all of us are worried about us. You know, whatever happens around the league happens, but we've been so worried about us and making sure that we're ready for camp and that we're ready for anything that goes on with our team, that we just focus on us.
Coming into a new organization, and there's this ownership change all of a sudden. Like, what has that been like for the players? Has it affected y'all at all? Is it just...
Hey, I mean, it doesn't affect you or whatnot, but it happens. Yeah. You know, everything's all well and good, and then boom, you know, Mr. Leslie had been unbelievable. And so that happened. And then, like I said, having Tad and them guys is unbelievable, being able to just talk and they communicate with you, and you're not blindsided by anything. And so, you know, that's the business of the game. That's their job, and they take care of all of that stuff. But all is well. Coach has been amazing. I think the thing that I heard Coach say last night was probably the best thing I heard since I've been here, And he sort of said our team motto is like, so what, what's next? You know what I mean? And so that got me excited.
The moment you arrived in
Last
LA,
question, guys.
the moment you arrived in LA, expectations for that franchise went through the roof. And while you guys didn't get over the hump, is there anything you can take from that time there that will benefit you and this team as you arrive here?
It's a lot of things that I can take from my experience in LA. A lot of different things. And as you get older, you know, people always say you get a little wiser, and you start also realizing you have to take full advantage of the opportunities you get. And so you can't take this stuff for granted. I don't think I've ever played with a player with the caliber of James. You know, so everybody says what I'm gonna do for him, but you know, what is he gonna do for me, and what is he gonna do for us as a team? And we just got to keep pushing him to be even better than he was last year.